baby, I'm talking crazy. I need you running my space, but I need it. Space, but I.
Hey, what's up? And thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel, y'all. My name is Sushani, the part of the Gillette's family. On this Gillette's family, I just want to say I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I really do appreciate my viewers and my subscribers. If you're a new viewer or a new subscriber, go ahead down in the comments below and tell me where you're watching from. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. And if you can as well, go ahead for me and follow our Instagram account for our Autism Awareness. And if you want, you can also follow my business account. Thank you so much. And let's get into this video. Today's video, it might be kind of short. It might not be. I'm not too long. It shouldn't be. It's not going to be too long with you guys. Because as parents and as caregivers, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking it's self-explanatory. But I know when I started this journey as a mom of an autistic son, it wasn't always that explanatory. And I'm so sorry if it sounds like I'm tired. I just came back from Walmart because we had an appointment at 10:30 and I gotta wake my little one up. So I'm trying not to rush through my video or nothing like that, but your mama gotta do what she gotta do. So let's kick in with this video. I wanted to say first what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about advocacy, advocating for your son. I know a lot of people don't understand what it means to advocate, how you should advocate. For me, is when you advocate for your son, you're speaking up for your son or daughter or your loved one. If your loved one, you need to speak up for them. If you notice that something isn't going right with the therapist, or let's say the therapist is not meeting the needs of your child, you need to either speak up to them or get a new one. Meaning, if your caregivers, if your therapists are telling you you need to stop them from how they're playing, that's not the correct way to play. Well, you need to tell them that hey, that's the way he plays. That's the correct way to play. That's playing. That's how he likes to play. Or what you can do, which I've seen moms do, is they go they go get a new therapist because the speech therapist or the physical therapist, they weren't understanding of how the child's needs are. They're trying to change the kid into how society wants you to be and how the society wants you to play. I think that's why ABA fails so many times, why people don't want to do ABA, and why it's a hush hush about ABA because um, it's grooming our kids to be like society. Well, we don't want them to be like society. We want them to be able to still be themselves, but still be able to fit in some way. Um, Being an advocate for your child is simple as speaking up for them. Like if you're going through an intervention and you notice that your child is tired, exhausted, don't seem, he's not seem like he's interactive anymore. He's not seem like he's there anymore. What you can do is, but I don't know if a lot of people know this, you can stop intervention for about a week, especially if your sessions, let's say you got a Monday and then you got a Wednesday session. And that's what we had. You can stop that week right there and be like, you know what, we're gonna stop it for a week. We're gonna give him or her a break. Like we gave our son a break because he needed a break to regroup because it was just so much for a 3-year old. At the time he was 2. So it was so much for a 2-year old to handle. And we agreed to stop it for a while to give him a little break because he had to get up early to be for an intervention. Like when the therapist came in, he was still eating, which was fine because we were able to develop words, play while he was sitting in his high chair, and then when he was done eating, we got to the floor and did activities. So, and you know, you just got to speak up if it's when you go to therapy and you notice the therapists are seeming rude or, you know, not friendly towards you guys. You either need to find a new therapist or you may need to say, hey, maybe she's having a bad day. Maybe he or she's having a bad day. Let's start fresh the next day and let's talk this out before we begin our therapy. Um, for example, that's what we did. We went to therapy one day and the female physical therapist. She was very, to me, I would say I would say she's rude. She was unprofessional. She was just, something wasn't right because when we did our evaluation, she was really nice and sweet to us. The speech therapist was fine. He was cool. We asked about different tools they were using, and she was rude and, well, you don't need to know that. Like, it was just very knocky to me, and I didn't appreciate it. And me and my husband talked it over. Do we need to stop therapy or we need to just regroup and talk to them first to see how they act? My initial reaction was to stop it. But then I remember my son, he has a thing with new people. He hates get new people to the point that if you with somebody, he don't want to get comfortable with you because he thinks it's about to change. So if he changes, then, it's gonna set him off. Like, that's one of the triggers I would say that would set your kid off. If your kid doesn't like change as much, that might set them off. So that's why I say you need to talk to them before you completely get rid of them. So we talked to them in general, because we don't want to feel anybody feels like they're being singled out. We talked to them in general, and I would say attitude changed drastically. I guess she was caught off guard because she didn't think I was going to say anything, because when you look at me and my husband, you automatically think my husband's the one that's going to go off on you, because of the tattoos, because of how he looks, you automatically assume. But assumptions don't get you nowhere, because I'm the one that will go off on you. You know, I'm the one that seems quiet and that people will at least expect to say something to. And I think that was a thing. I looked really quiet. I looked like the mom that won't say anything. I looked like the mom who I cared, but it's like I let you do what you need to do. But truth be told, I'm not that type of mom. I'm the type that will speak up for my child, who will say something because, you know, I want my kid to be treated the way he need to be treated. If I'm treating you some way, I want you to treat me the way I need to be treated. Treat me the right way. Don't treat me different because of something else. And that's the issue that I found that we ran into our last intervention therapy as well. Um, our OT speech therapist, did the same thing, except it was too late. We talking to her, so they both, our teacher and now we talked to the teacher to let her know how we felt about how everything was going on. And she spoke to her, and then her attitude and her mood changed as well. So it was more so of I will say, a race thing. People tend to treat me and my husband differently because of races, because of how our race are. I don't like to play the race card. I don't like to use it, but I have to own up to the fact that we are a mixed couple. My husband is white and I'm black. So that plays a lot into how doctors and how therapists and how people see us and how they treat us. Like, when my husband's around, they're nice and sweet and kind, but when it's just me, they're very rude and nonchalant. Like, they don't care. Like, I don't matter, which is very, very annoying. Um, it's very annoying because they'll think you don't matter or you don't belong there. You feel out of place, even if you're coming for your child. And it's frustrating. And that's what I'm saying. You need to speak up for your kid. If you notice somebody's behavior is treating you guys wrong or inappropriately, you need to talk to them or you need to switch. We chose to talk to them about it. Well, I did. I spoke to them as a unit because they are a unit. They're working together. So for me, I spoke to them together and I let them know, hey, we do not appreciate how you're treating us. Because my husband sensed the behavior. We don't appreciate it. We're here for the sake of my child. We're here to work together so we can meet his needs and where his needs can be met. It's not about who being professional and all this, because at the end of the day, we all know professionals are not always right. Professionals can be wrong about what they say and what they think at the end of the day. So it ain't even about that at the end of the day. We coming together for my son, for us to be able to do better with him, advocate, and make sure he gets the Bible training, the Bible things that he needs to have at the end of the day. I also made it fun. I said, hey, we need to come together and be like kumbaya, we need to get along because for the sake of my child, because my son will sense bad behavior. He won't want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna want to participate. if he senses the bad behavior or the bad animosity between us, because he will sense it. People automatically have that assumption that just because your child is autistic, your child doesn't speak or your child doesn't understand. Yes, he may not speak, but guess what? He understands what's going on. He understands, how you feel or your behavior. He understands what's going on. He does. And it bothers me that people think that they don't, because they do. They comprehend to an extent. Like my son, he will understand. Like I said, he don't understand. My son said, "Hey," on the phone. I said, "Look, he speaks. He just don't. Three things about my kid. If he don't like you, he's uncomfortable, or he doesn't want to be there, he ain't speaking to you. Or he'll just tell me no. He's not gonna say nothing to you. He say no. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, people gotta be mindful of their action, their body language, because you'll give up that body language that will come off as either know-it-all or you're just rude and stuck up. And that's not cool. And I'm here to tell you, if you sense that from somebody who's giving your son or daughter some kind of treatment or physical therapy, or you sense that they're giving you special treatment or treating you differently, you need to speak up for them and let them know, hey, this is inappropriate. This isn't right. I don't want to have to switch peoples. I don't want to have to switch unit. I don't want to have to do none of that for him for the sake of my child, because I know my child, how he handles different people. And I'm only going to repeat myself once when it comes to this. If I have to say it again, we're going to switch. And I made that clear because I wasn't playing. And I made it known that I wasn't playing. And then I will say the attitude from the main person I was addressing changed drastically. And I will say my son's attitude changed drastically, because then he sensed that we were more comfortable and we were more open to what they were saying, because they were acting the way they should have acted in the first place. Um, And I guess he sensed that, okay, mama took care of the feeling in the room. I'm gonna go ahead and play. I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with whatever they're trying to teach me here, because mama knows what she's talking about. I'm not saying my son didn't say all that, no, but his behavior, his demeanor says a lot. Because when we first went in the room, my son didn't want to do nothing. He wanted to stand by the wall, stand in the corner, because that's his corners are his comfort spot. And I knew something was off. And from her body language, how their body language are, I was like, "Nah, we can't do this. We cannot come to therapy for 30 minutes and do nothing, because my son feels like he's out of place, or he doesn't feel comfortable." And I'm like, I sense what my son was sensing. He felt that uncomfortable feeling with these people. So let me go ahead and nip it in the bud now, or we change people. So I say all that to say you need to advocate for your child. Stand up for your child. Speak up for your child. If it was a teacher, whoever the case is, even if it is a parent, if it's your parent treating your child any type of way, stand up for your child, because I had to do it already with my folks. I had to stand up for my child, and I don't regret it at all. I will stand up for my child continuously, and I will advocate. I won't be rude about it, but I will advocate for my child. I will say it in a way that is not rude, it's not disrespectful, but I'll still stand up for my child. My thing is, I'll give you 3 warnings. I'll do it 2 times. The third one, I ain't gonna be so nice. As simple as that. First two, I'm gonna be nice as I can. Third one, look, I ain't gonna be that nice to anybody. If it's a facility where we going to a certain facility and y'all being rude, look, I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna talk to you guys, pull you aside if I can, and then after that, there's no more. Because I ain't gonna do facilities. You got one chance for me, because at the end of the day, your kid, you getting treatment for that for your child. And that means when your spouse ain't there or your loved one ain't with you, they gotta treat you differently without them there. So they gotta know, look, we are a team. With or without that person next to me, we are a team. We all both deserve we all both need the same level of respect. Don't treat me one way when one person is in the room, and then treat me another way. Like, it don't work like that with me. That kind of crap baffles me and it pisses me off. How you in a professional field call yourself a professional and you treating kids and grown-ups differently? No, it don't sit right with me. It never has. So I'm here today to tell you guys, advocate for your child. Be an advocate, be their voice because they can't speak what they need, what they want, but you be their voice because you are their child. That's your baby. That is your baby. Do what you need to do to take care of yours and make sure your baby is okay. Even though they ain't a baby forever, you still got to advocate for them. You feel me? So like I said, do what you need to do for your child and you'll be all right. Your kid will be all right too. Because at the end of the day, when you speak up for your child, you're showing your child that you care, that you value them. When you show your kid, hey, mama speaking up for you. Mama got your back. That's what you're telling your child. That's why my kid felt comfortable after I spoke up to those people. He felt comfortable enough to continue on with the lesson when we first walked in there because he know mama got his back. He know mama, he know daddy got his back. And he know we don't play that over here. We don't play the nonsense. I don't. I don't have time for it. We're here to learn. We're here to help my son better his life. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, advocate for your babies, advocate for your child. Even if they don't have a disability or anything, still advocate for them. You stand up for them. You believe what they say because people can be lying. People ain't always telling the truth. Speaking for me, I've dealt with that with teachers. It's what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm determined, me and mine, so we going to advocate for our child. So what we do it over here. That's what I speak on every day. Advocate for your babies because they are your babies. They're trusted from me, God. God gave them to you. God put them in your arms. So you advocate for those babies because they deserve it. And I'll leave you guys with this. You know, sometimes it's hard to know when to advocate for. I say, listen, feel what your child like sense. Because your kids sense stuff. Your kid will tell you. And sometimes they could just be them being scared, but at the same time, just pay attention to what they may sense. And then they'll tell you a lot. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.